My name is Mr. Wright, and so you want to be a retro video game collector. Well, what is that? What is the state of retro video collecting in 2025? There are a lot of things that you need to know before you become a retro collector. Do you need to know about resellers? Do you need to know about pricing? We're gonna talk about all of that. But before you get in the video, you like video games that you will enjoy, do me a favor. We're trying to get to 50,000 subs. Then after 50,000, we're gonna try to get to 100,000, but I need your help. All you need to do is hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn off notifications on your cell phone and on YouTube. And you get notifications for every video. So let's talk about what is a retro video game collector. My definition of a retro video game collector is a collector who likes older video games. That's from Atari, back from Nintendo versus Sega, and you can even kind of categorize the 7th generation. That means PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, maybe Wii U, but that's going a little too far. I will say now, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, guys, it is now retro. Sorry about that, you're old. Yes, them games are old, but they are still fun. But let's get into the first thing, pricing. That is a big thing, right? Now, when we talk about pricing, a lot of factors come into mind. People talk about games that are too expensive. Take this game for instance, Sunset Riders. This game right here. So let's talk about the first thing, is price. Let's talk about a retro gaming price. I got right here Sunset Riders that I got from GameStop. Now this game is expensive. This game is over $70, and this is just the cart alone. Outrageous, but that is the price. And how did it get to that price? Well, one, supply and demand. It's not a lot of these games around anymore. They're not making Sunset Riders. Now they do have it on some of the digital stores. You can emulate it. We'll talk about that later on in the video. Getting an original copy is expensive for this type of game because it's popular. It's a great game and you can't really play it nowhere else on the Super Nintendo or subpar Sega Genesis, or buy an arcade machine of Sunset Riders, which good luck finding one of those bad boys and getting into your house, because those are expensive too. Not all retro games are expensive, especially on the Super Nintendo. Let's take for instance Mortal Kombat 1, a fun game. Back in the day it was edited. The Sega Genesis version had the blood, but I do like the graphics on this game. It is much better. This game is $10 loose. Or a great game, Donkey Kong Country. This is about a $20 game, and you can play this game everywhere. That's why the price is pretty cheap, because you can play it on Nintendo Online. Donkey Kong Country is a great game. Owning the original is very affordable. So pricing has a lot of factors. A lot of people like to say YouTubers drive prices. Hell no, to the no, hell to the no. That's not actually true. The one thing that actually drives the prices is eBay sold.
You know I ain't lying. I tell like it is, man. I don't be bullshit.
You get on eBay. Now, you might see a game like Sunset Riders and I talk about it. Or somebody talk about another game. Gains temporarily popularity because, oh, that game was cool. I need to go get it. And so somebody has a game in the closet, or they find a game out at a pawn shop and they put it online and let somebody bid, and the bid goes to like $70, $80. And that happens like 20 more times. That's going to be the price of the game. Pricing can be good and bad. One more thing about pricing is a lot of people complain in the retro community about prices when it's a popular game that they really want. A lot of people don't complain about Super Mario World. It's a $25. Everybody had this game. But you get a really rare video game and prices on that is crazy. People are going to complain. But like I said, just because you don't want it, somebody else will. Somebody will come and buy that game. That might be like a few. You don't really have to buy that game. There's many other ways to play popular games. But price, yes, price is one thing. Next up, let's talk about emulation. Here are two great emulation devices. Now here's one by Nintendo. This is an NES. They had this and a Super Nintendo. When this originally came out, this had like 30 of the best games. Now I kind of hacked this and have so many games. The complete Nintendo library on this emulation device, and it's amazing. Sega Genesis Mini, another great thing to own. And you can get a little deeper with, you can get your original PlayStation, take out the optical drive, and put in an X station. You can put an HDMI on this PlayStation right here and play it on modern TVs, which it is amazing. It's great. There's so many ways to emulate any system now, especially retro consoles. You can get a very cheap Nintendo Wii under 50 bucks and put in so many different consoles and games on that one device. So the drawback of emulation is you have every game there, but does it take, it kind of takes away from the collecting process, the joy of going out game hunting, looking for that game. I mean, when you have every game on a Nintendo, do you want to go out and video game hunt for it? In my case, not really. And like, I'm satisfied. I don't need a Nintendo set. I don't need a Super Nintendo set. I mean, the Super Nintendo games I do have that I want to collect because I want them, or I can use those for trade. But I do have every game that's there, and it's easy to get. I can play Super Mario World everywhere, on my Steam Deck, on my Sega Genesis, on my Wii. I can play it. I can actually play it on my Nintendo GameCube. One thing I'm in the process of doing is I am taking all of my retro consoles and I am hacking those. I am putting every game of that library on there and trimming down my library of games, physical games, to actually the games that I actually want to have and collect. I don't need a full room of video games anymore. As a retro collector, I'm past that point. Now, that's not for everybody. It's still fun. If you're getting priced out of retro video game collecting and you still want to be a retro video game collector, I mean, going this route is very, very cheap and affordable. Especially, you can still use original hardware. Another thing about emulation devices is the multi-cards. Multi-cards are amazing for older consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Game Boy, TurboGrafx. Any cartridge-based system has an EverDrive. And EverDrives are pretty darn cheap also and affordable. Probably less than $100 on some of these, depending on the size and what it does. You might want to check that out. And they have a lot of places to get those from, like Stone Age Gamers. You can go to Amazon and buy one. There's a lot of different places if you want to do emulation. All right, let's talk about stores. Where to buy these games from. You know, guys, I love GameStop. GameStop Retro in some cities are okay. Like, I got the Super Nintendo games from GameStop Retro. You've seen the whole GameStop Retro series. Go back and check that out. But also, mom and pop video game stores are amazing. The ones here in Texas are great. We got CGX in Denton. We have Fountain Electronics and a lot of other great video game stores in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Also, when I go travel, I see a lot of other different video game stores, and they have amazing selection of video games, and the prices are great. Now, if you don't have stores in your area, online is where to be. There are places like Double Jump Video Games. They sell online and they sell in store, or Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, if you get there quick enough, you can find pretty good deals. Now, got some sharks out there, buddy. When something pops up, people are on it. People still use Craigslist for all places. I bought games last year off of Craigslist. It's still going, so games are there still. Another thing is, yes, eBay. You can still catch some deals on eBay, guys. All you gotta do is just type in the game that you want and then look at like the newly listed or look at the lowest price and then cross-reference that condition, and you see something that you like, pull the trigger on that game. Sometimes eBay can be cheaper than like GameStop, Walmart, even Amazon. And you can find some amazing, great deals on older video games. And here's one that bothers some people. It only bothers those who look at their collection as like they're Scrooge McDuck and they have this massive wealth of video game and they're cashing the games and they're like, no, how dare you re-release a video game that everybody wanted to play and my copy is gonna plummet in value. Actually, some people actually think like that. They're thinking selfishly about themselves and their video games losing value, which in the whole change, yes, video games are worth some money. But guys, let's be real. Video games are fun. Video games are play. You can collect. I'm in the stage right now that I'm just collecting. I played so many video games. I played all of this stuff growing up. And now I'm just like, you know what? I'm focused more on like helping other people get deals like you, re-releasing older collections or older video games or even like newer video games so people can have a chance. I absolutely love re-releases. Re-releases, you might miss out on a game. I know a couple games, now we're talking about the PlayStation 4, which is not retro, but a couple games on the PlayStation 4 I missed out on. And a company like Video Games Plus out of Canada, they do a lot of great re-releases on games that you might missed out on. Now, to some collectors who had the first release, I'm sorry, but other people want to play games and just not keep them on the shelves just like you guys sometimes do. And this is not an ad for Video Games Plus. I had no sponsorship with them guys, but you guys are awesome. But Video Games Plus, if you don't know, have a lot of great re-releases and cheaper than the original release sometimes. So check those guys out. And here's the last one I want to say is FOMO. The Xbox 360 last year went through a FOMO stage, and you know what? I will say I was part of that. I was part of the Wii U one, and the Wii U. It's kind of flattened out, guys.
That's what she said.
Now, is this video FOMO? Could be. But I'm just telling you guys, before you become a retro collector, you gotta know all this stuff, you know. You gotta know about price. You gotta know about emulation. You gotta know about the stores that get them at. You gotta know about re-releases. And a lot of that surrounds FOMO too, because once a game is released and it sells out, look at the PlayStation 5 30th anniversary. Look at the PlayStation 30th anniversary, right? Look at that collection. Had me all in the FOMO. All in the FOMO with the controllers. I mean, the Portal. Don't even get me started about the freaking Pro. Man, that thing is still expensive and I missed out on it. That is like. But in a way, sometimes FOMO can be fun because when you see a game that your favorite content creator does, talks about it, and it's starting to actually get sold out, you want to be in that process. You want to try to find that game. It's exciting.
So excited! So excited!
Oh my goodness. Like say, let's go back out. It's because it's right here. Say Super Mario World, right? Super Mario World is like sold out and it's $400, but you find it in the pawn shop for $20. How cool is that? That is amazing. So FOMO at times can be fun, but also it can be a little scary because when you don't get it, the fear of missing out, you be like, man, I can't believe I missed on this game. And then you eventually might find it. But think about this, guys. Video game collecting is not super serious. Just have fun with it, right? You don't need every game. I don't need every game. What is important is that on this journey that you meet some cool, amazing people. That's what it's all about, the community. It's not about this plastic that we fight over, or people get jealous over that, oh, you got more plastic than me, which is stupid. Just have fun collecting. Have fun meeting brand new people. Have fun to go on to video game shows that sells a lot of video games if it's close in your area. Even if you have to travel to go somewhere, have fun. This retro community has some amazing people when you meet them. Now, some online are a little bit salty and just looking for attention. And you just gotta like drown that noise out. Don't listen to a lot of those negative people, especially the negative folks, because they're not happy. They're just looking for something to complain about. And really, a video game, the one thing about a video game is to have fun. It's just to have fun. If you're not having fun, then why are you doing this?